Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. You know how this works. By now we pick one topic and go deep.
That's right. Unpacking all the complexities and nuances.
And today, today we're looking at the hidden costs of AI. You know, all the cool stuff it can do.
Right. Self-driving cars, chatbots that can write you a poem.
Exactly. But all that processing power comes at a price. And today we're talking about the environmental one. We've got reports, articles, even some first-hand accounts from folks on the ground.
And let me tell you, it's pretty eye-opening.
Okay, so let's jump right in. One thing that really surprised me was the sheer amount of water these AI systems need.
Oh, yeah. Water is absolutely crucial for keeping those massive data centers cool.
Data centers.
You know those giant warehouses packed with servers, the brains behind all the AI magic, all those processors running constantly, they generate a ton of heat.
Ah, I see. So they need a way to cool them down.
Exactly. And that's where the water comes in. We're talking about sophisticated cooling systems that use huge amounts of fresh water.
How much are we talking here? Like a couple of swimming pools?
More like a massive lake. One of the reports we have here says that in 2023, Google used enough water to cool its data centers to fill Lake Athabasca in Canada.
Whoa, hold on, Lake Athabasca. That's enormous. And that's just one company.
It is over 3,000 square miles. And that's just one company. It really makes you think about all those little interactions we have with AI every day, asking Siri for directions or using ChatGPT.
Right. Like just a simple question could be contributing to this massive water usage. Kind of a scary thought.
Definitely makes you think about the connection between our digital lives and the real world impact.
And it's not just about the total amount of water, right? It also matters where it's coming from.
Absolutely. We've got a story here from the Dalles, Oregon. Google has a huge data center there, and it's using a ton of the city's water supply.
So that's got to be putting a strain on their resources.
Yeah, especially during droughts. And it's not just happening in Oregon either. We see similar issues popping up in places like Santiago, Chile, where water resources are already stretched thin.
So we've got this huge demand for water to cool down data centers, and it's putting pressure on communities all over the world. I imagine this thirst for resources isn't limited to water, though, right?
Not at all. These data centers are also energy hogs. They need an incredible amount of electricity to run those servers and keep the whole system going.
Makes sense. So where's all that power coming from?
Well, we found this fascinating piece on how Microsoft is now getting power for its data centers from 3 Mile Island.
Wait, 3 Mile Island? You mean the site of that infamous nuclear reactor meltdown back in '79?
That's the one.
Huh. I mean, I get that nuclear energy can be a cleaner option than fossil fuels, but using a reactor with that kind of history seems a little risky.
I can see why people might be concerned. It's definitely a complex issue. Public perception of nuclear power is understandably a bit shaky after an incident like that.
Right.
But with the demand for energy skyrocketing, especially with these power-hungry data centers, the industry is taking another look at nuclear power.
It's a tricky balance.
For sure. We need to weigh the need for cleaner energy with the safety concerns and make sure these reactors are built and operated responsibly.
Definitely.
Transparency is key, too. People need to know where their energy is coming from and how these decisions are being made.
Okay, so we've talked about the downsides, but we've got to acknowledge the good stuff, too, right?
Yeah.
AI has the potential to solve some pretty big problems.
Absolutely. I mean, just look at healthcare. AI is revolutionizing the way we diagnose and treat diseases.
Like what?
Well, take AlphaFold, for instance. It's this incredible AI program that can predict the 3D structure of proteins with amazing accuracy.
Okay, I'm not a scientist, but that sounds pretty impressive.
It is. This breakthrough has huge implications for drug discovery, understanding diseases, even developing new materials.
Wow. Okay, so AI can be a powerful tool for good, but we can't just ignore the environmental impact.
You're right. We need to find ways to mitigate the downsides and make sure we're developing and using AI responsibly.
So what can we do?
Well, for starters, we can make data centers more efficient. That means optimizing those cooling systems, transitioning to renewable energy sources like solar and wind.
And I bet there are ways to recycle the water they use too, right?
Absolutely. We can implement closed-loop systems in data centers to reduce freshwater consumption. And on a bigger scale, we need better water management policies in the areas where these data centers are located.
It's a team effort then.
It is. We need tech companies, governments, researchers, and even everyday users to work together.
And speaking of tech companies, they need to be transparent about the energy and water usage of their AI systems, right?
100%. Transparency holds companies accountable and helps drive real change. We need more data, more research, open discussions about the trade-offs involved.
Couldn't agree more. So as AI becomes a bigger part of our lives, it's crucial to be aware of both the good and the bad. We need to understand the environmental impact, demand transparency, and push for sustainable practices.
Exactly. Only then can we make sure that AI is truly benefiting humanity and the planet. It's a conversation we need to keep having.
Absolutely. So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the environmental impact of AI. It's complex, it's challenging, but it's a conversation we need to keep having. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And remember to check out the show notes for all the sources we mentioned today.
And if you found this deep dive thought-provoking,
Make sure to share with your friends
we'll see you next time.
for another deep dive.